Hello there guys, welcome back to another tutorial. Today we're going to look at basic commands that you find in Git, and as well we are going to look at GitHub. So we are going to look at this, and also we are going to look at how to generate the key, that is SSH key, using that is within GitHub. So let's get started. So now what's the difference between Git and GitHub? So Git is a version control system that lets you manage and keep track of your source code history, while GitHub is a cloud-based hosting service that lets you manage Git repositories. So when you look at, for example, this is my Git, and here you can create a repository, and basically what a repository is just, for example, where you want to keep your code. So basically that's what it is all about. So when you come to my GitHub here account, let's go back to let's go to the home. Is it the home? Okay, you can see now these are my repositories. So this shows you that this is where I've been able to place or post my code here in my repository. So that's all there is. And then you can come here and create a new repository, and then we are going to look at that. So let's get started. So what we're going to do here, since I'm in my local environment, I've opened I've opened VS Code. So VS Code is a text editor that you can use to write your code with. As well, now the first thing you need to do here, you need to come to this website here that is called Git. So when you go to Git, it will take you to where you can install Git, that is in their website. So the installation is very easy, there's nothing hard. You just need to come here and choose whichever that is your Windows. So if it's 64-bit, just come for 64-bit for Windows setup, and as well I believe for the Mac and also Linux there are installation guidelines you need to follow. So you just need to do that, and then you download, and then once it is downloaded, if for example you're using your text editor like VS Code, so what you need to do, you just need to come here and integrate it with VS Code, but automatically it just comes in automatically. Actually, you don't need to integrate anything. Before you used to, but now recently when I downloaded Git, it just came automatic. So you'll have to, the first one is PowerShell, since I'm using Windows. So PowerShell is basically, even I can also use PowerShell by default without having to come to my text editor. As well, now you can also open Git and also use it. So I believe when you come here, you just type Git and then it will just show up. But I like the text editor, since for example, when I'm making a project which requires command line interface, and then I need to use Git and all that, so Git will highly be good when it's integrated within our text editor VS Code. So I would highly suggest you go for VS Code text editor, and then and then once you install Git, it will just come here, and then just click here, and then you're good to go. Now let's start with the basic Git commands. So the first command here, since I've installed my Git, so you may want to come and check your version here. So mine should be 2.232.0.windows.1. so that is my Git version. You may have maybe a latest one and so forth. Now the first command I want us to do, now what we are doing here, we are going to make a local repository within our local environment, and as well we shall also come to the GitHub itself and make also a repository on our, that is remote Git. Now, as we have said, the GitHub is just a cloud-based hosting service. So it is a cloud-based, meaning that it is stored somewhere else. So what we do as developers, we just come and upload our code and keep track of that particular code that we have made, which highly helps developers very much. Okay, so the first command, now the first command here we're going to do, I'm going to type mkdir. Within mkdir, I'm going to create, for example, a local folder repository. So maybe I give it something like Acme, and then Acme, I'm going to give it that that is dash sign and then repo. So that means here I'm saying make a new directory or make a new folder within my local environment, and then when I click enter, it should make. Now now I can cd into the same, sorry, no, so let me just, yeah, okay, so I can just cd in. So cd in is just to check now to enter into that particular folder that we have created within. Now I'm in my Acme repo. So now what I want to do, the next command here I would want to use is git init. Git init simply means git initialize. So what we are doing now, we want to initialize this particular folder so that now we can be able to make a file or create files within that folder. So I'm going to type git init. So what it says that initialized empty git repository in C users, that is in my local disk C, and then my name, and then that's where we have now. So now this one has .git, that means now it has been initialized as an empty repository so that we can now begin writing, we can now create files. For example, the first file here I would want to create is touch index.html. Now, for example, now this means, for example, if I want to make a project, the first thing you want to do, you come here to the files and then you normally create a folder, and then you open now the folder, and within that folder, for example, if it's a front end, for example, website that you want to make, you start by making now, for example, index.html, style.css, and so forth. Now, since I want to make this project whereby I'm able to track the changes, that's why I've started by using git, so that whenever I change code and when I'll push this code to the remote GitHub, I'm able to track every file whenever I make changes, which is very good. So I click this one, enter. So touch is used to make a file. You can use touch command to make a file and so forth. Now since this is done, so with code, with VS Code, I just need to use this command, code, and then this dot sign. So what it will do, it will add a code to index.html, and it will open for us the folder. So let me click enter. So now this one will change for it to open for us now whatever the folder and whatever we have created. Alright, so yes, so this is a new window now. So I can take the old one out, they'll just remain with the new one. Okay guys, now you can see here we are already now in another platform. Let me come to my git bash here. Now you can see here there is the index.html, and yeah, so now here we can begin writing our code. For example, you can see the Acme repo, and then now the index.html, and then this U shows that this is untracked. So now when you see this U, it shows us now we are on the GitHub, and this file can start getting tracked, or when we continue giving other commands, this file would now be tracked. So here what I may do, let me use the shift exclamation mark, and then let me just type that, and then here we can have something like P, and then something like welcome to my website, something like that. So it's just welcome, and then here we just leave it as it is, like that. Okay, so now the next thing here, I can type the ls command to see what is in this Acme repo. So basically that is what is there. So ls stands for list the files that are within a particular folder. Now the next thing I want to do is, remember we are still on the local environment, we still need to we'll need to come and push this particular code to our GitHub, which is outside here. So what I'll need to do here, I need to have this command git add index.html, like that. So what we'll do, it will add it to our staging area. We refer to it as staging area because it is where now it's awaiting, so that in other words, what it does is that it adds our new or changed file in our working directory into the git staging area, so that now we can start adding, that is, it can be pushed to the remote. So let me just click that. So now it has been added. Now if you want to see if everything is working well, we use git status. So git status shows us that there are no commits yet, so we have not done any commit, but there's a new file which is index.html cached to one stage. So we have just taken it to the staging area. All right, so now since it's saying there's no commit yet, we can start by doing a git commit. So what git commit does, it's that is -m. M stands for message. So here we just want to generate a message when we are going to push it to our remote repository. It's going to, what it does, it just indicates that this message, there's no anything that has been changed in that file, no code that has been updated into that particular file. So let me click enter that one, like that, and yeah, so it has now been committed, and then yeah, so that is it. Okay, so now what's the next thing? Now the next thing here is to do a git pull origin master. Now let me just type this command so that you can see what we are doing here. So here the next command is git pull, so git pull origin, and then /master. So what this command does, it will pull changes from the locally stored branch origin master and merge that to the local checked out branch. So it will pull the changes from the local, remember we're in the local stored branch, and then now it will merge it to the local checked out branch, so that now we are ready to push this code to our GitHub. Okay, so let me click enter, like that. Okay, now what it says here, Fato does not appear to be a Git repository, and yeah, so what we need to do is that okay, now this error comes in. For example, it says does not appear to be a Git repository, and could not read from remote repository. That tells you that we need to create a repo within our here. So just come here and then come to new repository. Now within the new repository, create something like just the title of your website. You can say something like Acme, I think it was Acme, and then make it public, and then that's all. And then just create a repository. Now this is what we'll be presented with, and this is what we'll be able to use so as to push. You can see this is a URL for pushing the repo to our remote repository. So what we are going to use, in this tutorial deals with also SSH and how to generate SSH. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go for this one, not the HTTPS. Now SSH, why SSH? SSH is secure, and for example, if you suspect that the code that you are pushing into your remote repository, that is, there is the network is unsecure, you may want to go for SSH, especially when you are dealing with a code that is very important. Maybe it's a company you're working for and so forth, so you want to go for this one. So what we'll do here is that before I copy this one here, because I'm supposed to copy this one, I created already an SSH key. So let me go to this profile here and then go to settings. Now within settings I have SSH and GPS keys here. Now I already created this SSH, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete it, and then when I delete it, I'm going to create another one for you guys so that we can have. So this one has been deleted, so I'm going to generate another key. So how do we do that one? So let me begin there. Alright guys, so we are on generating new SSH key. So we're going to do simple commands and then we are good to go. So let me just clear this. So in here, let me just clear out this and let's begin. So just open your Git bash. So come to your Git bash here. Now what you need to do here, the first thing you need to do is come to your email address. So what you need to do here, you just need to paste this command. So just copy this command here. In other words, start by copying that command and then paste it here. Now what you need to do here, you need to change this one to your email. So in my case, my email is mwengibrian@gmail.com. So just change this one to your email like that. So change that one to your email, and then now once that is done, you can now click enter, and then it will authenticate if that email is correct. Right, so just click enter like that. Okay, so now here what it is asking you is it is telling you, for example, and here they have told you that, for example, if that is when you are prompted to enter file, save to save the key. So please enter. So what you need to do, you just need to enter, and then yeah, so here you don't need to type anything. So it says so I'm going to overwrite since I had already created a key. Okay, so enter the password. So here I'm going to give a password here, which is private, like that, and then I'm going to repeat like that, and then we are good to go. Now since this is done, I just click. Alright, so now so the SSH key has been generated. So your key fingerprint is this, and then we are good to go there. So yeah, so it has been saved, and then we just need, so your public key has been saved in this particular place URL. So let me just clear this one. Now the next thing is to come and add it to your adding your SSH key to your SSH agent. So what you need to do here, you need to add that key to your SSH agent. So you just need to come and start the SSH agent in the background. So you just need to come here and copy this one. Now when you copy this one, you need to paste it there like that. So this one will give you your agent PID. For mine is 961, like that. So that is 961, and then so once that is done, the next step is to add your SSH private key to your SSH agent. And in this case, I'm going to copy this command here. So just follow these steps. I'm going to list them in my website, so you can follow them up and see. Okay, so we are going to do that one. So I've copied that one, and then I'm going to do that one and paste it. Alright, so now it's asking the password that we created with earlier. So identity has been added. Alright, so now the next thing is to add the SSH key to your account on GitHub. So what you need to do, for you to do that, what I need to do is just to copy this particular key. And for me to copy it, there's a command here that they give you. So the command should be, okay, so I think it's, okay, it's not here. So let's just go to adding to your GitHub account. So let's go to this website here, and it will take you step by step. Alright, so this is it. So now copy this command here. So what it will do, it will copy your SSH key. Remember, it has already been generated. So it will copy your SSH key to your clipboard. So just come here and paste that one there, and then it will copy that SSH key. So it has copied it. And then now come to your GitHub here. So you can see the steps are ready. So come to your GitHub here. That is, come to your profile, and then within your profile come to settings, and within settings come to SSH and GPG keys, and then click on new SSH key. Now this one you can give it, for example, here they normally tell you, for example, you can give it a name. For example, if it's your personal PC, you can give it personal MacBook Air and so forth. Maybe I'll do copy this one and do something like personal, maybe Brian's window. So now Brian's Windows PC, something like that. Just to, now here you need to copy the key. So I just paste, since I copied it to the, oh sorry, so not be this one. So I copied that one. Okay, so since I done another copy and paste, so what I'll do, I'll do this. Let me do this. Let me generate this command again. So it has copied it again to my clipboard, and then I just need to paste it here again. So that is my SSH key. So I'm going to delete this key, since I'm just doing it for demo purpose for whoever may want to copy it. Okay, now once that is done, you just need to add the SSH key like that, and then now it will be added like that. Alright, so that's how we do it, guys, and yeah, and then you are good to go. So now we can go back to again. So now what we need to do here, we just need to come and create that repo. Okay, we already did that, so we already created the repo. So let me just go to, okay, so let's just go back here again. Okay, so let me just do this first. Okay, so now here, so we are now back again to the Acme, the repository. Remember the repository we created. So come here to your SSH, since we have established an SSH key. So copy this one and then come and paste it there. Now before we paste it, that's not correct. Okay, so this is what, okay, so that is now, okay, so what we need to do here, sorry, we need to have this, we need to have something like git remote, and then add origin like that, and then paste the SSH link, and then now click enter like that. So it has now been added. So git remote add whichever, that is the SSH link. And then now the next command here we want to do is git pull origin master. So what we want to do, we want to push this one now to our origin master within our GitHub. So that's where it will now be. And then we do something like that. So if there's nothing that went wrong, it should be able to do that so it couldn't find remote reference master. So let's check this error. Okay guys, so now let's try to do the git push. Let's try to do the git push origin git push. In other words, let's try to push this local repo to the remote GitHub and see if there's going to be any error. Okay, all right, now you can see now it has been pushed, but I don't know the error with this one. Okay, so what that means is just ignore this one, and as well ignore this one, that is git pull origin master, since it means that it was already added from our that is from our local stored branch to the local checked out branch. So that it means it was already added. So the final command is just git push origin master. But now remember, I'm going to write this command so that you guys can follow. So now this one has been pushed in through the SSH method, whereby it is secure, and that's and your code has been pushed well, and there's no any security issues that you may encounter. Now when you come back here and refresh this page here, we should see our Acme, and with our folder has been pushed here with whatever we had already written. Welcome to my website. So that's it guys for this tutorial. Like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to this channel, and follow my website webdevtrainee.com. I'm going to post the same tutorial here, and let's meet in the next video.